through lack of not really trying, it's now time for me to review my very first advanced MSIA, and this time it's the Duel Gundam. I've always wanted to get in like the Freedom or the Justice or something else along the lines, but the Duel is just as good. It's blue, it's my favorite color, why not? So anyways, the price tag for these guys can be pretty high, pretty outrageous in my opinion, but we'll just see. I'm going to be taking them apart, showing you guys all the great little features, if you can call them great, and that's it. So, let's get it started. For what you pay for this guy, you actually get a very, very small amount of accessories, and they're the basics of basics. And you're going to get, of course, the blue shield. That's very much the same as the strikes. It also comes with a little detachable handle right here on the side, and a peg so you can fit it into the forearm of the Duel. Of course, you'll get the Duel's Buster rifle, beam rifle, and let me just say that the ammo pack at the back, I can only assume that's the ammo pack, does come off, and goes back in with a simple snap. The barrel, I don't know if this is just mine or what, but it does come off, so you might want to watch out for that. In terms of hands, besides the fist you also get two, let me grab them real quick, two beam saber holding hands, which is very odd because even though you do get detachable beam saber hilts, which are right here, as you can see right there, there are no beam saber blades, at least none that I know of. Maybe I'm just wrong. Anyways, last thing you get is also a beam rifle holding hand. Very, very impressive, and that's it. And now it's time to show off the articulation, and I'm going to be showing this in two different parts, one with the armor on and one with the armor taken off. And if you know anything about the extended MSIA line, then, not extended, the advanced MSIA line, then you'll know that the biggest selling point for most of the figures, not all, is that the armor is capable of detaching from the mobile suit. It's a very cool little gimmick, but can sometimes be a hassle. Namely, if you've seen other reviews, then you'll know that the armor is quick to pop off and such. But anyways, starting with the head, it's very stiff, and at least mine is. And it's possible to go 360, but it's quite a chore. Just getting these beam sabers out of the way, they do come off. But anyways, yeah, as you can see, the head can move. The shoulders have this much articulation. They can go all the way 360, turn all the way around. They can move back and forth. The elbows are double jointed, of course, and the hands are on a ball joint. So they can go all the way. They don't have too much movement in terms of going side to side. The chest doesn't move whatsoever. That is stiff and secure. The legs can only go up that high, and the knees, which I thought, there it goes, are double jointed, and they bend about that much. Ankles are also a ball joint and have a hinge at the top, so they can move up and all around. And as you can see, some of the armor is coming off, but that's okay. I pushed that off just now. But yeah, as you can see, some of the armor is coming off, so let's go ahead and take it off and then see how much better the articulation is without it. Here's everything once the armor is all removed and the mobile suit itself. Quite a pain in the ass of a task. The feet armor doesn't come off, and the shoulder armor can be a little bit difficult. I left it on just so I don't have the chance of breaking anything. Really, it doesn't matter if you take them off or not. It's not going to hinder articulation, but let's now show that. As you may know already, the armor on the head doesn't come off or anything like that. Again, I'm leaving the shoulders on just to make sure everything's safe. Articulation is pretty much staying the same bend in the elbows, same movement in the shoulder, except now with the chest armor gone, you get a little bit more free range motion. The legs are the most interesting thing to see with articulation. They can go up that high. They can bend. Oops. There we go. They can bend. So he can do a nice little high kick. And same movement in the ankles and everything. You can just really see the detail in the mobile suit's frame and everything. Nothing's different really. So, I mean, it's a cool figure. And with the armor off, it, I guess, becomes even cooler because then you can see the inner frame and everything. And that's always a plus, I guess. Something else that's pretty interesting is that the chest in the middle, right there, you see it, is actually made out of metal. And there's a nice little piece of plastic right in there. I don't know what it is exactly. It kind of looks like a little cockpit shell, but it shouldn't be because the cockpit could be found right there in the middle. So if anybody knows, hey, it'd be fun to find out and leave a comment right at the bottom. But yeah, all in all, that's pretty much it. With everything shown, it's now time to just give my final thought. And let me just say, I really actually like this figure, but there's just too many problems with it. One, of course, obviously being that the parts. I mean, you get so many little parts, and you do get a lot. And with a lot of these figures in the advanced line, that can be a really big hassle. You can lose pieces, and parts really come off very easily. Thankfully for me, you know, it doesn't for this figure, but I know a few people who have reviewed like the Buster or the Freedom and stuff, and parts just fly off willy-nilly, so that's something to be cautious about. Another thing is the articulation. Although you'd get good articulation in the knees and in the elbows, the biggest part of articulation is also the chest area, and you cannot move that area whatsoever. So if you know you're all about articulation and you care about the torso, this is not the figure for you. That being said, the other thing I really disliked was that you don't get beam saber blades. I mean, the whole point of the duel for me was that you can take out both beam sabers. It can just hack and slash and do whatever. You don't get to do this with that figure. You don't get to pose it in any way. And it would have been really, really fun to see that being done. You can pose them with both beam sabers and stuff. So that, and of course the last thing and the most important thing is the price. People have these things priced so high, and are they really worth it? In my opinion, no. I could see them being around the $30 mark, maybe 40 depending on which figure it is, which Gundam, but 50, 60, going up to crazy prices like that, absolutely not. These figures are, first of all, not well, I guess, designed, because when you look at their faces, the head sculpts are very, very off. The Duel, not so much, but a lot of figures that I see get reviewed from the advanced MSIA line, people complain about the sculpt and everything. So the price is way up there, and it's not really worth all the trouble of missing pieces, not getting beam saber blade effects or whatever, or just not really feeling fulfilled with the figure. So I hope that helped you guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. Stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching. Take care.